What's up guys, it's Mega giving you another deck for Link Evolution. This is my Thunder Dragon deck, guys, for the new update. After the update, Thunder Dragons have been near enough unplayable due to Colossus being banned, which is actually a very key card, you'll be surprised. And also the fact that a lot of them have been hit on the ban list, or be hit on the limited list, sorry. So it's like Hawk is limited to 1 and Roar is limited to 2. So you see what I mean? They've really hit a big hit, and with that, it's really impossible to play a pure Thunder Dragon deck, guys. So I decided, through a help of a fellow player on this game, his name's Cammy, who I play with sometimes through the stream. We was able to come up with a new deck, and mainly more of a combo deck. It's more originally his idea, and I've kind of like took that and kind of used my own opinion to make this deck. If you're struggling to make this deck, check out the card hub. It will tell you where it will tell you to find campaign, challenge mode, or card pack. That does include the new cards added via this new update. Also in the description is my Twitch, where I do try and stream playing this game and other games when I have the time. And with that, guys, without any further ado, let's get into the video. Starting us off, guys, I just want to quickly point out, you might disagree or agree with this deck. I just decided this is kind of like a different way to play it, and we're kind of stuck with this. So going us first is Artifact Scythe. This card is pretty much a Garnet. You don't particularly want to see it, but you can see it and you can still use it to do your plays. So Scythe is of course an artifact where you can set it in your spell and trap card zone, and if this card is destroyed in the spell and trap card zone, you can special summon it to the field, and if you special summon it during your opponent's turn, you lock them out of the extra deck for the rest of the turn. You can near enough go on this turn 1 if you use it with Dagna and Wonder Magician, and you can just do this, setting up a decent play, and you can stop your opponent from doing their plays and just go off on there. And then 2 copies of Ash Blossom, one of the best hand traps in the game. If your opponent adds a card from the deck to the hand, special summons from the deck, or sends a card from the deck to the grave, Ash Blossom shuts it down, and it's really useful to interrupt your opponent's plays. And then 1 copy of Batteryman Solar. Now you might think, whoa, only 1 Batteryman? The reason why, guys, is because with the likes of Colossus being banned, Batteryman Solar, in my personal opinion, is only used there really to send a Thunder Dragon to the graveyard, so you are able to use it with Thunder Dragon Fusion to special summon out Titan. But without the Colossus, it's just kind of lost that power, if you get me, because again, with them being limited, it's really hard to like get all your Thunder Dragon plays going. So I've limited to 1, and if a Thunder monster is normal special summoned while this card is on the field, you can special summon a Batteryman token to your side of the field as well, which just helps out your Link plays. 1 copy of Chaos Dragon Levier. Chaos Dragon, guys, is basically you can special summon by banishing 3 light or dark monsters. They can be both, they can be all of one, they can be all of the other. And special summon Levier. Levier has effects based on what was banished. So if you only use lights, you can special summon a monster from your grave. If you only use darks, you can shuffle 1 card your opponent has back into the deck. And if you use both light and dark, you can show up to 2 cards your opponent has on the field, which is pretty nice, really. And again, a lot of our Thunder Dragons, they activate their effects when they're banished, so that comes in handy. So it's just really great, guys. Combo extender, and again, it's a free summon, and you can use it for just power and go on for synchro plays. Speaking of which, guys, we are running 2 copies of Jet Synchron and 3 copies of Quick Draw Synchron. Now, the reason I decided to run on this was because Cammy originally, like, his idea was to like do this to go into my Ultimaya, because a lot of other people are using Ultimaya now just to give the deck some kind of play, and the Jet Synchron and the Quick Draw just give it that extra versatility. So with Jet Synchron, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add a junk monster to your hand. We don't have that, but if this card is in the grave, you can send a card you have to the graveyard, special summon Jet Synchron from the graveyard. So just with this 1 card, you can go into a Jet Synchron, link it away into Link Karibo, bring it back, go into Crystalline Needle Fiber, then bring out another Jet Synchron with Needle Fiber's ability, or an Ash Blossom, then if you can just get one other monster, which is actually not as bad as you think, that's why we're running like Instant Fusion, Monster Reborns, that kind of thing, you are able to go into our main combo, which I will discuss in a little bit. But it all kind of stems off a Jet Synchron. It's kind of like a one-person do-it machine. I was thinking of playing maybe Phantom Beast Orion in this deck, but I decided not to in the end. And for quick draw, you can special summon this card from your hand by sending one monster in your hand to the graveyard. This is kind of come in handy because in order to summon Ultimaya, you need a level 5 tuner and a level 5 or higher non-tuner. So quick draw just fulfills the tuner bit, and also you can get a card in your graveyard. Again, if you've got the Thunder Dragon Fusion, you need like 3 dragons in the graveyard to summon out Titan, and also you can get them in the graveyard. That way you can, like, if you've got, say, I don't know, for instance, Dark in the graveyard, you can then play Hawk's ability and discard it, and you can just go off from there, or because you discarded one of your Thunder Dragons. Speaking of Thunder Dragons, guys, we've got 3 of the original Thunder Dragon. Discard it, you can add another one, you can add up to 2 if you really want, not a once per turn. Also, if you keep doing this, you're setting up plays for either Thunder Dragon Duo or Levier, and again, like I say, you can go into you can go like the Pot of Avarice if you want to. You just got better plays to just like set up because of this. Then 3 copies of Thunder Dragon Dark. Please bear in mind and say we are running near enough the Thunder Dragons at the maximum you can run them, so that's why they might look like this. Dark, when you can quick effect discard this card to add another Thunder Dragon Dark from your deck to your hand. If this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add a Thunder Dragon card from your deck to hand. That does include Thunder Dragon Fusion. You can only use one effect once per turn. And as for Dio, it's kind of like a Levier, where you can banish 1 light and dark monster, and then special summon Duo. If a monster effect is activated, this card will gain 300 attack points, which comes in handy. When this card destroys your opponent's monster, you can banish 1, so you can target a... So you can banish 1 card from your graveyard and add a Thunder Dragon monster from your deck to your hand. That comes in handy because, especially if you've banished a Thunder Dragon, the effect's going to trigger. But just by summoning Duo, you can pretty much, like I say, banish the Thunder Dragons, near enough activate their effects, and then you get a free monster and go off from there. That's basically the reason why you're running this. And then Thunder Dragon Hawk, it's limited to 1, guys. You can discard this to special summon 1 Thunder Dragon monster that's in your grave or banished. And then if this card is banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, it's basically like a magical mallet where you can choose which cards you want to send back into your deck and draw that equal card. So you never really have a dead card in your hand, really. But yeah, so say for instance your hand is Hawk plus Quick Draw or Hawk plus Jet Synchron. Like, just with those 2, like, or that and a Thunder Dragon, anyone. Say you've got like those, like, say we've got Matrix, Hawk and Jet Synchron. You can do all those plays I just mentioned with Jet Synchron, like the Needle Fiber and the Jet Synchron. You can play, because you play Jet Synchron's ability to discard the Matrix, you can discard Hawk to special summon Matrix back to the field. Boom, you continue your plays, go into your link plays and all that stuff. Then Hawk is in the graveyard ready, and then when you link away Matrix again, that's ready, and you're able to go into bigger plays. You can even set off Levier if you've continued doing your plays. Goes mad. Speaking of Matrix, I started only add 2 because I don't want to make the deck too clunky. And that's a quick effect where you can discard this card, add 1 Thunder Dragon monster you control and give it 500 more attack points. Really comes in handy with Titan. And if this card is banished or sent to the field to the grave, you can pretty much add another Matrix to your deck to your hand. And then finally, 2 copies of Thunder Dragon Raw. You can discard this card to add 1 Thunder Dragon card that's either banished or in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Or if this card is banished or sent from the field to the grave, you can special summon a Thunder Dragon from your deck to your hand. So Gold Sarcophagus, you can banish the ward to get a free summon onto the field. Use that to link away with Quick Draw or Jet Synchron, or if you really want to, your Solar. Link them away and you can just go mad from there. And that's it for the monsters, guys. Going on to the spells, we are running 2 copies of Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness, you can literally banish one of your dark monsters such as Raw, Dark itself, Levier, and then you're able to draw 2 cards. And because you banished a Thunder Dragon, the effects are then going to trigger, continue with Combo Extender. 3 copies of Call by the Grave. I decided to run in this, guys, because last thing you want is to get hand trapped. This just helps you prevent your place from being disrupted, and then we can just go on and have a nice day. 1 copy of Gold Sarcophagus, limited to 1, guys, otherwise we run 3. You can banish 1 card from your deck face up, and then after 2 turns add it to your hand. So with this 1 card you can banish one of your Thunder Dragons, and then their effects will trigger. So again, if you banish the Roar, special summon. If you banish the Hawk, you get to change your hand around. If you banish the Dark, you get to search a Thunder Dragon card. The scopes are endless, guys, pretty much with Gold Sarcophagus. 3 copies of Instant Fusion. This bad boy is used to get out a Fusion Tuner, which I'll get to in a little bit, and 1000 Eyes Restrict to get around pesky cards your opponent controls, really. And then Monster Reborn, combo extender again. If you've only got Jet Synchron plus a dead monster in your hand, I don't know, for instance, we'll just say Dark, you can then play... You can still do the combo that I'll explain in a little bit, and then you can just play Monster Reborn to resurrect Dark and then just link off from there pretty much. And Pot of Avarice, it is actually easy to get 5 monsters in the graveyard, so this just lets you just shuffle them all back in, draw 2 extra cards, and then reuse the cards you've just reuse the cards you're gonna play, cards that are in the graveyard basically. Thunder Dragon Fusion, it is searchable with Thunder Dragon Dark, and also it is playable with Verte Anaconda. You might think mine are only running 1, because we are only running 1 copy of Thunder Dragon Titan, because like I say, this isn't a pure Thunder Dragon build, simply because it's near enough impossible to run a pure Thunder Dragon build with them being this limited and this like banned. Because Colossus is banned, you're near enough just going to run the Run Titan. No offense, you don't really need to run 2 in my brutal opinion. So I decided to only run Run, and it makes the deck less cloggy. 3 copies of Tuning. You can add 1 Synchron Tuner from your deck to your hand. So this 1 card searches out Jet Synchron, and it searches out Quick Draw Synchron, and also after this card is activated, you then send the top card of your deck to the grave. Again, if you send a Thunder Dragon, that's just added bonus. Again, if you're running cards like World Legacy Suppression or Monster Reborn, you're pretty much going to combo extend from there, and you can just resurrect the monster that was milled due to tuning. 1 copy of Upstart Goblin, it will make it a 39 card deck, and again, it's just there in case you're missing that key card, and then you draw it, boom, combo, let's do this. And then finally, 3 copies of World Legacy Succession. The reason I am running this, guys, is because I playtest this deck kind of a bit, and I was like, I always needed just that 1 extra summon, that 1 extra card. And I was like, World Legacy Succession is pretty much a different version of Monster Reborn. Pretty much we're running 4 in the deck. With this 1 card, if you do the combo I say, with if you have Link Karibo or even... Needle Fiber, you can just bring back a monster you've got in the grave, go from there from your combo. It's pretty much like that. It will just help you just get on an extra monster in the graveyard pretty much. And with that, guys, that's it for the deck. Going on to the extra deck. We are running 2 copies for Instant Fusion targets. 1 sea monster of, is it Physis or Physis? This card, like I say, is a Fusion Tuner. I think he's the only Fusion Tuner in the whole game. Again, just with this 1 card with Instant Fusion, you can near enough bring out a Tuner, and if you can get out a Thunder Dragon card or something, or if you use your Scythe, use that combo, you are then automatically able to go into Ultimaya, just from literally an Instant Fusion. And that's pretty much why you're running this monster, and that's pretty much the only reason why, really. 1 copy of 1000 Eyes Restrict. If you're going second and you get an Instant Fusion, you can steal one of your opponent's monsters, because 1000 Eyes Restrict is, once per turn you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, equip it to 1000 Eyes, and then he gains that monster attack and defense, and then you just link away 1000 Eyes into Link Karibo. So you just pretty much, he's kind of like a kaiju in a way. Instead of like tributing your opponent's monsters, you just absorb them in a way. So that's the reason why you're running him. And then 1 copy of Thunder Dragon Titan. He's playable with Thunder Dragon Fusion, which you're going to play through either Verte Anaconda or just through Thunder Dragon Fusion if it's in your hand. This card must be Fusion summoned by banishing 1. Because we're using because we're using it with Verte Anaconda, it's kind of Fusion requirements is kind of restricted. All you need is 3 Thunder Dragon monsters with Verte Anaconda. So when a Thunder monster is activated in the hand, even during the damage step, you can quick effect like chain with that card, You can destroy one card in your opponent's field, and if this card would be destroyed by a card effect, you could banish up to 2 cards from your graveyard as well. So if you're banishing them, it's going to trigger their effects. So again, this card, like I say, you use it with Virtual Anaconda, and then depending on your field, if you've got IP Masquerena and stuff like that, you can just link away the IP and the Virtual Anaconda on your opponent's turn to go into like a 2 monster Appaloosa. So then your Predator Planet is not vulnerable, and then you've got a boss monster like Titan to interrupt your opponent's plays. Going on to the Synchros, guys, we are running Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. The reason I decided to run Moonlight is because of Ultimaya. So with Ultimaya's ability, you can special summon a level 7 or 8 a level 7 or 8 Dragon Synchro monster from your deck. And I was like, out of all of the Dragon Synchros, obviously Clear Wing or Crystal Wing is in there, and I was like, what else can I run? And I decided to run Black Rose Moonlight, because if this card is special summoned or a level 5 or higher monster special summoned to your opponent's side of the field, Moonlight can target one special monster your opponent controls and just bounce it back into the hand. It's like a unicorn. Really comes in handy to structure your opponent, and again, it's just there to help. I decided to run this. You don't have to run this. You could run a different Dragon Synchro, but I just like the Moonlight. And 1 copy of Crystal Wing. Again, you're going to summon it via Ultimaya. When a monster activates its effect, it does include hand traps, you can negate the activation if you do destroy it, and this card will gain attack equals that monster's attack. Also, if this card battled a level 5 or higher monster, you can let Crystal Wing gain that monster attack. So it's just there to it's basically a free monster negate from Ultimaya. And 1 copy of TG Wonder Magician. You special summon this card from Crystalline Needle Fiber, because Needle Fiber's ability lets you special summon a Synchro Tuner, and that's what Wonder Magician is. And when this card is special summoned, you can target 1 spell or trap on the field, destroy it, and if this card on the field is destroyed, you draw 1 card. So really comes in handy, and again, it just comes in with this card. If you can get Crystal Needle Fiber and Artifact Dagna on the field at the same time, second your opponent activates a monster effect or just plays a card or anything when your opponent does anything, you chain with Needle Fiber to special summon Wonder Magician, you chain Needle Fiber's ability with Dagna and set a Scythe. Wonder Magician's ability is going to activate to pretty much destroy your Scythe. Boom, you've now got Dagna, Wonder Magician and Scythe on the field. You've got 3 monsters on the field, and you've just locked your opponent from special summoning from the extra deck that turn, all because you've got 2 links on the field. It's absolutely incredible, and this is what Cami was talking to me about, and this is what we decided on. And then 1 copy of Ultimaya. Like I say, you need 1 Synchromon, so you need 1 level 5 or higher tuner and 1 level 5 or higher non-tuner to special summon Ultimaya. And when a spell or trap is set on your side of the field, you can special summon either a Power Tool Dragon, which we don't have, or a level 7 or 8 Dragon Synchro from my deck. So, like I say, guys, you just summon Ultimaya, you set a card, boom, clearing. You can then play the card you just set and just go off from there. And then after you use Ultimaya's ability to get out the Crystal Wing, you can then just use Ultimaya off to go into like Appaloosa, Anaconda, IP Masquerena. The lists are endless. And then going on to the links themselves, guys, 1 copy of Appaloosa. He's like he's like the link version of Crystal Wing, where he will gain 800 attack points for each link material used, and once per chain, so you can even use his effect as many times as you can per turn. When your opponent activates a monster effect, you can make Appaloosa lose 800 attack, and if you do, negate the effect. So if you use 2 monsters, Appaloosa can negate 2 monster effects. If you used 3 monsters, you can Appaloosa will gain 2400 attack points, which means he can negate 3 monsters effects. You see what I mean? That's the reason why you use Appaloosa, just there for an extra monster negates. 1 copy of Artifact Dagna. Now, like I say, guys, when effect of another card is activated on the field, you can set 1 artifact from your hand or deck. So again, the artifact in your hand is not dead. You realistically don't want to draw it. You want to draw a different card, so you've got another plays. But if this, so you're pretty much just going to play Dagna's ability to special summon to set the scythe, and then because you've chained it with needle fiber summon the Wonder Magician, pop in the scythe, lock in your opponent, there you go. And if this card is linked, summon is destroyed, you can special another artifact from your graveyard. Again, you're not really going to play that effect because you're only running one artifact, so literally this card is only there just to set the scythe. Then one copy of Crystalline Needle Fiber, one of the best cards, guys. If this card is linked summoned, you can special summon a level 1 to 3 tuner, so you can special summon Jet Synchron and Ash Blossom with this card, and then just like continue combo plays. Also, during your opponent's main phase, quick effect, you can banish this card to summon one Synchro Tuner from your deck, pretty much Wonder Magician. So that's how you do the play, and I hope that comes in handy. One copy of IP Masquerena. IP Masquerena, guys, you need 2 non-links. Please bear that in mind, 2 non-links. During your opponent's main phase, you can quick effect immediately after this card effect activated. Link summon one link monster you control. That does include IP Masquerena. So during your second play, if you've got your cards and you've got the combo, you can go into Ultimaya, use Ultimaya to bring out Crystal Ring. You can then, if you've got like the Jet Synchron in your graveyard, just literally send whatever card you top deck to the graveyard. You're then able to go into Anaconda. Then you can use Anaconda's ability to bring out the Titan. If you have the cards to do so, bring out Masquerena before you activate Anaconda's ability. Then you have the Titan, the Crystal Wing, you've got Predaplan, and you've got the Masquerena. After you've done your plays, you could just link the Masquerena and the Predaplan to go into Appaloosa. Then you'll have 2 monster negates and a Titan that can there to disrupt your opponent's plays. And also to support your opponent's plays, if you really want, you can use Masquerena to go into Nightmare Unicorn. So if this card is link summoned, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 card on the field, return it to the deck. So again, if you, instead of wanting to go into like a 2 monster Appaloosa, you can easily go into Nightmare Unicorn if your opponent do anything and just interrupt their plays from there. You can literally do whatever you want because of IP Masquerena. 1 copy of Link Kuriboh. It's vital because of Jet Synchron and also because of Thousand Eyes Restricted. So again, you can just normal summon the Jet Synchron, link into Link Kuriboh, resurrect the Junk Synchron, the Jet Synchron, and then you can just do your plays. And also Link Kuriboh has an ability where you contribute a level 1 monster that does include Thunder Dragon Matrix to special summon Link Kuriboh from the special summon this card from the graveyard. And also, should your opponent attack, you contribute Link Kuriboh to make that monster's attack go to 0. Predaplant Verti Anaconda, you literally are going to use this card to send. You can even send an instant fusion to the graveyard if you really want to. But the downside with Anaconda, if you activate ability to send a fusion card to the grave, you can't special summon after you played it. So you're really going to play Verte Anaconda to send Thunder Dragon Fusion to the grave. So then you return 3 Thunder Dragons from your field, graveyard, or banished back into the deck to go into Titan. And then finally, Summoner. That's a mouthful. You have to use 2 Thunder monsters to summon this guy, so you can bring him out with the Thunder Dragons. Once per turn, once per your opponent's turn, you can discard 1 card, then target 1 Thunder monster in your grave and special summon it to a zone this card points to. Just recycle your monsters, and you can use their plays as well and all that lot. So yeah, I do hope this deck comes in handy, guys. Again, by all means, it's not the best Thunder Dragon deck out there, and again, by all means, you can change some cards around. Thunder Dragons have been hit so hard on this ban list because of, like I say, Colossus and the limitations. In the TCG, they don't have the limitations. Like, only Colossus is banned. They can still run 3 Hawks, 3 Raw. We can't. So that's why I've had to change this deck around, and I do hope it helps. So, yeah, again, shout out to my friend Cami for helping me make this deck. And with that, guys, if you enjoyed this deck, hit that thumbs up. We have got some replays so you can kind of see the combo and see how it plays. They're coming up in a minute. And with that, guys, I can just say stay healthy and stay safe wherever you are in the world. Take care. Goodbye.
Crazy keep on driving もっと激しく走れ振り返ることなんてできないわ Wait up Keep on burning so 熱く燃やして嵐のように全てを蹴散らせフルスロートで行くぜクリアマイ孤独と不安を引きずった無力な日々ぶっ壊してもうダッシュで今を突き抜けろ泣いてちゃ No way 目に見えない何かに怯えグリップ効かないコーナーじゃ迷いは禁物だぜ覚悟か腕をまだ誰も見たことない明日でお前すれ風になるのさのぞき一本のリモートと遠くへ気を抜けば命はないのさぶち込めればそう Keep on burning so 生きてる限り儚くても輝いていたいフルスピードで行くぜクリアマイクリアマイ